Actually no longer the mediation center. I'm now with the Ministry of Youth and Social Development, and also I oversee women affairs and poverty alleviation. So when she was saying that we're going to file action against them, in fact that's the department I'm in as legal director. Yes. Okay, maybe after. Okay. So now we're talking about mediation, a suitable access to justice for, they didn't include it, but I did, marital disputes, victims of domestic violence and sexual abuse in the face of global peace and security. For almost 14 years, I was into litigation. So when I was posted to the Citizen Mediation Center, I said, well, the wicked have done their worst. How can they take me from litigation to mediation? But I didn't know the advantages that I'll derive from it, because at the end of mediation sessions, the peace and the joy that you derive from it is, you can't really measure it compared to, when you have to go to litigation, you try to find out technicalities that would defeat your opponents. So mediation is, quite a very good and useful tool. So I started with the introduction, talking about marriage as a social institution that can be traced back as far as creation. I'll run through this because we don't have much time. They want to try for us to live personal relationship with social, communal, or religious acknowledgement, which is often created as an agreement. You'll agree with me that under recurrent attacks of dissolution, separation, and all forms of conflict, this results in divorce, separation, after party, and not, that is the focus. But the main marriage, it gets, but let's change it. That's what they have put into marital relationships. They don't want to really bother to work on it. There are many of them. Then he marries a wife that any amount of meat you want, take it. 5 pieces of meat, 4 pieces of meat, take amount as much as you like. They now get married and he sees his wife doing that. What will he do to her? Won't he think that this one wants to finish me, using all my money to eat? So, people from different backgrounds, marital disputes occur as a result of different expectations from marriage. Some people, they believe that marriage is a bed of roses. They've heard from their friends, this and this is what is happening in my home. But unfortunately, people are not really truthful about talking about their relationships. Some will give you a false impression. I had a situation at the time when I was reading law. I had done history first. I had a bachelor's, BA in history before. After my youth service, then I went back for law. So it was during that period that I got married. There was a classmate of mine. I was feeling sleepy in class. She said, I told you, why are you sleeping? I said, well, maybe it's because of the clothes I was washing yesterday. She said, you're washing clothes. Don't you have a housemaid? I said, it's only 2 of us in the house. I don't think we need housemaid. They said, no, I can't take that from my husband. You are pregnant and you're washing clothes again. What rubbish is that? Marital disputes occur as a result of different expectations from marriage. Then conflict occurs when the needs and desires of spouses diverge and are thus incompatible. Other reasons may be childlessness, impotence, financial issues, infidelity, drunkenness, drug the continuous existence of such marriage or for about 3 years. And each time he has an excuse. When he's going to bed, he wear very tight trousers. And the mother-in-law now came to say, leave my son alone now. The one said, leave your son alone. And they are praying for me to get a child. With this man wearing very tight trousers every night. In determining the continuous existence of such marriage or relationship. So what are some of the dispute resolution mechanisms available? There is avoidance, negotiation, early neutral evaluation, mediation, which is the most used, ombudsman, peer review panel, conciliation, expert determination, med-ab, conciliar arbitration, child dispute resolution, arbitration, tribunal, and the most common one, which is litigation, is also a dispute resolution mechanism, but is not the alternative. So what is mediation? The one that we're focusing on. It's an integral part of ADR mechanism. It's a facilitative process where disputing parties engage the assistant who mediates their dispute. It's in cases of private and informal way of settling a dispute without relying on a legal judgment issued by a judge or jury. The parties involved in mediation reach a mutually agreeable solution that will end in a conflict. So what happens is that mediation, you are part of the whole process. It's a party-driven process. It's not a situation whereby the judge is sitting on the in front and you that is actually affected, you sit at the back. This time around, your assist parties negotiate and reach a mutual agreement without having to get to court. There are some mediations that parties don't meet at all. It's only mediator that meets with them. That kind of mediation, they call it shuttle diplomacy. So this is an example of how the mediator will sit, the two parties are in front, and they mediate their disputes. It's very important for this. The sitting positions are very important. They call it setting the tables, because at times, if you sit them wrongly, then you don't get a fast or the kind of resolution you actually want, because the parties, they may so much hate themselves that some of them, even to stay in the same room, is a problem. So then generally mediation is used in resolving civil cases, non-criminal matters, is used in commercial disputes, family disputes, inheritance, labor, communal and marital disputes. However, some minor or non-violent criminal cases are now being accommodated in mediation. There's also possibility of victim-offender mediation. When the criminal law was reviewed, I was actually the secretary of the reform of the criminal law of Lagos State then. So some of the things they incorporated into it is non-custodial sentences, victim-offender mediation, restorative justice, with a view to at least reducing the number of people in the prisons. So these are some of the applicable laws: Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Matrimonial Causes Act, Criminal Law of Lagos State, Administration of Criminal Justice Law. There's the Violence Against Persons Prohibition Act, Prevention Against Domestic Violence Law of Lagos State, High Court of Lagos State Civil Procedure Rules. So this shows the law and domestic violence, so that you don't talk about domestic from prison. He had assaulted somebody and he had been given a prison sentence of I think about 2 years. He came home and was beating up his wife. The policeman saw him and said, it's a family affair. That's how domestic violence can be defined as a violence which occurs in the home or between people who live or have lived together. Domestic violence is a societal ill that has ravaged humanity since the beginning of time. Unfortunately, with the passage of time, it has become increasingly more regular and widespread. Like somebody said, she said, anytime you open the newspapers, on a daily basis, there's hardly a day that you don't find some form of domestic violence, whether the husband killed the wife killed the husband, there's a rape, there's defilement, father sleeping with. There was, a particular incident that really angered me. This man had he slept with his first daughter, slept with his second